This is the plaintiff, Jerry Roby. He says he dropped his truck off at the defendant's auto repair business, and the guy parked it on the street and it was towed. The defendant refuses to go get his truck from the tow yard. It racked up $6,383.95 in tow fees and storage charges, and he's suing the guy for that money so he can get his darn truck back. This is the defendant, William Chambers. He says he and the plaintiff work for the same company, and the guy had his truck with no plates towed over to his house for him to work on in his spare time. Over the next year and a half, he worked on the truck, and he called to tell him it was done. The truck was then stolen off his property. The plaintiff never went to pick up his truck at the impound. Now he wants him to pay over $6,000 to get the hunk of junk out? No way. The truck is the plaintiff's responsibility, not his. He's accused of not taking care of a truck.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says he dropped his truck off at the defendant's for repair. Says the truck ended up getting towed. He ended up having to pay $6,000 to get it out of storage. But the defendant says the plaintiff parked it in the street and the hunk of junk had no plates on it, and that's why it was towed. It's the case of more junk than just in the trunk.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Roby, how is it that you two know each other?
We work together for LA County.
Okay. And at some point in time, you asked him to work on your 2004 Chevy Silverado.
Yes.
Okay, why? It was hit from behind?
Yes, it was hit from behind probably about a year before.
Okay.
And he came to my house and checked it out.
Was it insured?
No, it wasn't insured.
Okay.
But at the time it got hit, it was insured.
Right, and
Yes.
It was not your fault.
It's not my fault. It was sitting on the street.
So did you collect a check from the party at fault?
The insurance company?
Yeah, that's what
Yes,
I
I
meant.
did.
Okay, and then you asked him to fix it at his house?
Yes.
Okay. And what qualifies him to fix it? Is he a mechanic for the county?
Yes, he is. He's a mechanic,
Okay.
certified mechanic
But this
for
is
the county.
body work, right?
Yeah.
Do you do body work?
No.
Okay. Was this body work?
It was mostly suspension work.
Okay. So you give it to him when?
I gave it to him like a little over a year ago. I'm not for sure the date.
Do you remember when he gave it to you?
I have it in my text messages when he
Okay,
gave
in
it
your
to me.
complaint you say spring of 2018.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, that's like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, almost
All
2
right.
years. Yeah, almost
so
2 years.
you give it to him to work on, and he's going to work on it and give it back to you when?
Well, he told me a few months ago that it was actually
A
done.
few months ago. When you leave the car with him, what's the plan?
Okay, the plan was for him to fix it, but he said it needed shocks, it needed oil change, and he
so
said he
you
gonna
would
charge
get
me.
it back. See, normally when people want their car fixed, they don't wait 2 years.
Right.
So I'm wondering, what was your deal with him?
Well, it's like he took his time with it, so you know what I'm saying. He's
But
back
you
and
knew
forth the
that
job.
that
Yes,
it was
yes,
he was
it wasn't
doing
no
it at
problem.
his house as a side project.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Now, it took a long time.
Yes, it did.
So where was the car all that time?
It was in the backyard. It was in the driveway. I parked it on the street here and there sometimes, and I put it back in the driveway.
Did it have
So it
plates?
moved around.
Did it have plates?
It had plates on it, yes.
It had plates on it. It just, as it turns out, because the car was there a year and a half, you didn't keep up the sticker on it, right?
No.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So at some point, almost a year and a half later, you're done?
I was basically...
Or almost done?
I was almost done with it, and then we agreed to do more work on it. I
Okay.
suggested more work to be done on it.
And then the car is, and it physically has a plate. You're not inspecting the sticker to see if he's current
No,
on his
I'm
stickers.
not. No.
And then it gets parked outside. Did he ever tell you don't park the car outside?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Did you ever tell him don't park the car outside?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So now he does, and as it turns out, you get a ticket for this.
Not sitting in front of his house.
Say it again.
Not in front of his house.
Was
Well,
the
I don't know. He called me and told me it was stolen.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
He
you
called
do
me
know because you got the ticket. Where was the ticket?
Well, it wasn't in front of his house.
I want to see the ticket. I
Okay.
don't take answers like that. When I demand an answer, I'm going to get an answer,
apologize.
or I'm going to draw a negative conclusion from the failure to give
Okay.
me an answer. So According to you, one day you wake up and the truck is gone.
The space between my two vehicles, it was gone. It was wedged in between
your two vehicles.
Well,
the space was still there. I guarantee it.
It was wedged in between two vehicles.
When you say wedged, you mean
space.
Your car's parked here, your wife's car is parked here,
exactly,
and
he
his
was
car's
in the middle. Exactly.
All right, but the car's gone.
The car was gone in the morning when I woke up. Yes.
And so how did the car? It didn't evaporate. What do you think happened?
I think somebody grabbed it with a tow truck.
Okay.
That was the only way you were getting that thing
How
out of there.
How are you even going to get it out with a tow truck? Sideways? Can you get it out with a tow truck?
You can get it out with a tow truck with
sideways.
The dead man lift sideways. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can just drag it out with a tow truck.
So why isn't the immediate person we all think of that would do that a police officer who sees that the tags are expired? Why wouldn't that be our immediate thought? Rather than thinking it was stolen, because your truck is worth more than this truck.
Yes, correct.
Your wife's truck is also worth more than this truck.
Yes.
But they specifically picked this truck to take.
Yes, exactly.
It's a little odd, right?
They weaseled it out between two cars, basically.
Yeah, but so someone really wanted this
Somebody had to have it, exactly.
Maybe it's just that hot a car. Like it's just, you love your truck.
Oh, I love my truck.
Right, maybe somebody else loved your truck.
Yes, Lord.
I don't know. All right, but you call him right away and you tell him it's missing.
Yes, I called him about 7:30
And what do you do?
morning.
Does anybody call the police?
No, well, I said, Bill, I need a police report ASAP.
You need what?
A police report.
Right.
That had been stolen.
So did you call in? Did you call the police?
Me? I didn't know where it got stolen from, so how could I call the police?
Well, you do know where it got stolen from. It was in front of his house, and it got stolen.
No, I don't.
Did you call the police?
Because I'm not knowing where it gets stolen from, because it was at his house. He never told me he parked it out front, but I know it was
Either
at
way,
his house.
you know his address. Why don't you call in the theft of your car?
And then I tell the police what?
Oh, I don't know. How about this? My car was at my co-worker's house to get fixed, and he just told me it was stolen this morning. How about that? That's a good. The truth would work. Why wouldn't you do that?
Well, like I said, I didn't know it was in front of his house. He said it was parked at a certain.
It doesn't matter. They then talk to him and say, was it here, was it there? And then there's a police report, and then you know what happens? You find your car if it got towed.
Right.
You find exactly where it is.
Okay.
So I find it suspicious that you don't call the police. Do you call the police?
I never called the police.
It's not your car. How's he, really, you got to call the police. To be honest with you, either of you could have called the police.
Yes.
But no one here can put their right leg in front of their left leg and actually call the police. So instead, what does everybody do? You tell him and you wash your hands and you do what? It's your truck.
Yeah,
and you don't call the police, and then what happens?
Well, this.
By the way, what day did this happen? Do you remember the day?
September 15th, I believe, the night of the 14th, 15th, somewhere around there.
Does that
September
comport
14th,
with your
evening?
So the ticket for no evidence of registration isn't until October 12th.
Right.
Do you get any notice between September 15th and October 12th that it's been towed or that it's anywhere? The police can't even look for it because nobody files a police. What is wrong with you?
Well, like I said, I asked him to give me a police report.
Why is it his job to file a police report on your stolen property? Why isn't it yours? Why would you not call the police?
I mean, it was in his possession. I don't know if it's stolen or not.
It doesn't matter. What makes you think you can't call the police? When I park a car and it gets stolen, it's not in my possession. It's in the mall's possession. But if it got stolen, it's my property. Why wouldn't you just call the police?
Yes, ma'am, but it's
seriously, why wouldn't you call the police? It got stolen. Neither one of you. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I'm worried about you two walking back outside and crossing the street. I'm worried that you don't have the sense that God gave a billy goat, that neither of you would call the police, so that the police can have a stolen truck report, and then maybe they'd find it sooner than a month. It turns out, let me see the paperwork from the tow company. So they have it in their possession since the day of the ticket, which is October 12th. So a tow company, well, this tow company that has it now is not the tow company that took that truck. What do you think happened? You think he took it back?
I have no idea what happened to it. It disappeared for about a month. It disappeared from my house, and it was gone for about a month.
Where was this ticket received? This ticket was issued where?
It appeared back in Mission Hills. I called the tow truck company.
To find out where they towed it from.
Where they towed it from. They towed it from Mission Hills, which is about a town up the street from me.
And
probably 2 or 3
where
miles
does he live?
I live in
Compton.
Not Mission Hills.
No. That's a ways away.
Wow.
So it was taken from my house, in front of my house, and then it was dumped in
Maybe
Mission
just
Hills a
his
month
truck
later.
is easier to steal, because if it's 2004, there.
Right.
God knows how many straightened out hangers I used to get back into my car in the day.
Welcome back to the People's Court. The plaintiff says when he dropped his truck off at the defendant's for repair, he never imagined that it would be stolen. But the defendant says someone took it from his driveway and then it was towed from a different location a month later. But the plaintiff never reported the truck stolen. Let's go back into the courtroom.
So why are you suing him? Can you tell me what you believe he did wrong?
Well, I asked him to call the police. Now, this between me and him, I asked him to call the police and just make a police report for me. Because I'm saying that I didn't know where the car actually was parked. I knew it was at his house, but I didn't know he had put it on the street. So that's what I figured.
Okay, this is a Google Earth shot of your address, correct?
Yes,
Does that look right?
that looks about close. Yep.
Okay. So it is the width of one car. Whose truck is
Yes.
that?
That's my truck.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah. So it's literally the width of one car, and you are a two-vehicle family. So you don't tell him, don't put it on the street. The thing has a physical license plate on it, but he's not crouching to check every day to see if you're on top of stuff. It gets towed because you're not on top of stuff. You didn't pay. You got a bill in the mail telling you register the car. It's time for your renewal of your registration.
Right.
And then the rest of us wrote checks, and you said, it's at his house. But you admit that you don't tell him, listen, no parking lot, because I am letting things go. You don't say that. It's there a year and a half. At some point, it inevitably gets parked outside. It gets stolen, and then it gets. Did you have insurance on theft? Did you have the theft insurance, or you let the insurance go too?
I needed to get it smogged before I could register it. I needed to get it smogged. I could smog it. Yeah, inspect it, right. So he was working on it, so I could get it smogged and inspected.
Okay.
To get to tax.
So all the more reason to call your car in stolen. And then what happens is these folks, well, wherever it was, there's no tow charges for the month that it's missing. But when the police issue the ticket, and when they get it towed, and when it goes to this garage, they send you notice. And you get the notice how much later?
I get the notice maybe a week later.
Right.
A week later.
And then
so
how
I
much
called
was the
him up.
bill then?
It was almost probably $900.
Right, and now it's a $6,000 problem.
Yes.
Now, remind me again why it's his fault. You didn't renew your registration, and a car got stolen. He didn't steal it.
Right.
Okay, a car got stolen, which is unfortunate.
Right.
What did he do wrong and then you have a $1,000 problem, which blossoms into 6 times that amount by letting it go? Because when you got the notice, it was $1,000, $900, probably less than that because it was only the tow and a few days. You could have found out when it was towed if you had had a police report pending, because when the cops went to give it a ticket, they wouldn't even have given you a ticket. They would have looked at it and said, oh my Lord, that's the stolen car. That's it. Look at that. They run the VIN and then it's a stolen car. They know it's a stolen car.
Right.
And then they just call you and say, dude, happy day. We found your vehicle.
Right.
Come and pick it up. But you didn't call your property and stolen. So remind me what he did wrong that he'd owe you the $6,000.
Actually,
Let me answer that question for you. 0. Because you have even admitted that you never told him don't park it outside. You're just kind of angry that he did. Because after all, if he hadn't parked it outside, if he kept it in his living room, it wouldn't have gotten stolen. You have no expectation that a man who is fixing your car on the cheap for a year and a half with a driveway that fits the width of one car would never have your car on the street. No expectation. Nor does he have an obligation to check and see if the little sticker on your car has been updated. This is all your fault. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Well, it didn't work out for the plaintiff, Mr. Roby, as you heard the judge. What are you thinking about?
Well, I gave it to him. I mean, we're friends and stuff. I gave it to him to fix it. But how you take my truck and just stare out? He knew the tags wasn't on there. That's why he parked it close like that, to hide the tags. Now, that's the bottom line.
The bottom line, you should have called the cops.
Yeah, I could have, but
Don't you agree?
yeah, I could have. But
It would have
like I
saved
said,
all of this.
yeah, it would have saved this. But I'm asking him. I'm saying, look, man, let's get the police support. I need police support. You know exactly where it's parked. So.
Well, bottom line is, it's still in the tow place, isn't it?
I don't know. They probably sold it by now.
Oh, you don't even know where it is.
No, I don't. Yeah, I had to release liability because they're going.
Well, good luck. You better go find out.
Okay.
The judge says he's worried about you crossing the street. Be careful.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Chambers. I don't know. She's worried about you too crossing the street.
She might be, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, well, you're off the hook. You feel better now?
Yes, I do.
You feel sorry for him?
I do feel really bad about him.
And you still work together?
He works in a different area than I do.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
but
right.
we same place, different department.
Well, look, good luck to you. I hope this hadn't ruined everything, friendship and all.
Thank you.
Okay, good enough.
right.
The door is that
Bye.
way. Harvey?
Doug, this is a no-brainer. When you have your car towed and it's in storage, get it out, because the longer you wait, it's going to rack up fees and you're not going to be able to pay it.